What is going on? And welcome back to Law Dude Unearthed. This isn't going to be a long one, which I know for me, as far as recorded podcasts so far, most probably wouldn't even believe that. But I don't even have my microphones with me. I just thought I'd record a quick little podcast. Uh, Basically, the last podcast I had, I was talking about spring rush woes and how my week would start out this week. So, like I said the other day, got to keep your head up, keep your faith in God, and you just got to keep moving forward. Times are going to be tough, and we just got to keep our heads up and keep it moving. But I definitely recommend that you check on your people, man, especially your fellow business owners, because we all know how tough it is to do this each and every day, to get up, lace up your boots, especially if you're in the lawn and landscape industry. You wake up with different soreness every morning. Sometimes if you're doing a task that you don't want to do, you're not as motivated to do it. Like, for example, when it comes to me, I am not a fan of mulching. I don't mind mowing. I don't mind doing applications. I love doing like mini skid work. I especially love mowing wide open properties with the 72 or the 61, whatever the choice is for that day, and putting stripes on them. You know what I mean? I don't mind stuff like that. But when it comes to mulching, I've never really been a fan of that. But when you're doing full property maintenance, you have to include mulching. So today, I was actually supposed to do a couple mulch jobs. A couple jobs was getting black mulch today. I go to pick up my mulch to take care of these jobs. My usual supplier is out of black mulch. Great. So as a business owner, instead of quitting, instead of giving up, instead of saying, hey, I was already sore this morning, let me just go back home and crawl back into bed, I started looking for a solution. So I remember I had a service call for next week, scheduled for next Friday morning, for a client to put down 2 yards of double shredded brown mulch in a couple beds that they had me skip when I did the initial mulch job last month because they were waiting for some plants to come in. So they had double shredded. So I got the double shredded brown mulch. Went to that client's house. Of course, they weren't expecting me, so that's always great. You know, when you take care of a problem before you plan to do so. And it was still early when I finished that job. I knocked it out about 11 o'clock. It took about an hour to do those two beds. And my wife made a good suggestion when I had called and was talking to her. She said, did you try, our other supplier? I said, no, I didn't. But, mistakes is I have the account with the other supplier, the main supplier. This one I had to pay for on the spot, and they charge more. Like, for example, I think it was like a $15 difference per yard. So at this point, I had already called the client who was the main client I had to get done with the black mulch. The other one, they weren't expecting me to come this early anyways, because it was two jobs with black mulch. I was just basically doing the other one because I was already doing one job with black mulch, so I thought I'd go ahead and try and knock this one out too. But I called the one client and he goes, well, I definitely understand. Sooner the better, though, with mulch would be great. So I decided to go to the other place, pay a couple dollars more for the mulch. Called the client, said, hey, we are gonna be able to go ahead and take care of you today. And he was just elated that I was able to take care of that for him today. So I went there, I applied the mulch, uh, left that property. It took me about a couple hours, knocked that out. Uh, Funny thing is, the other supplier, I asked for 4 yards of mulch. They only had 3 yards left. Fortunately, I always estimate over to be on the safe side, so the 3 yards was enough. But I took care of that client. A couple hours later, I decided to go ahead and do a brush cutting job. It was a small brush cutting job. Had about 10 tiny, maybe 2-inch trees. I had to chainsaw out, weed whack out some beds. It took me about half an hour to knock that out. I had that scheduled for next week, so I was able to take that off the table too. Took care of that. At this point, went back home. My day was over. Just changed oil in my wife's car. Had to drop my son off first. And then actually took care of my parents' house and a house I have in their neighborhood. They were both on the Monday list, so that's 2 off the Monday list. And then I did the bed weed control at one of my commercials that I have scheduled for Monday morning. Then I went home and took care of my wife's oil change. I had enough time just to order some dinner, unwind, get these proposals sent out. Gonna hang out with the kids and the family for the rest of the night before we get ready for these their games tomorrow. It's full Saturday of that. So basically, I say all this to say, make the best of a situation. If I didn't make the best of the situation, I could have sat at home, got nothing done, but instead made the best of the situation. Now I've knocked off 4 or 5 jobs off next week's list for multiple different days of the week. And not only did I knock off a couple jobs off the list, I still pretty much kept production coming in. I made another customer satisfied. Another thing I didn't tell you was when I did get back into the house, that client who I decided to go ahead and get the mulch for and go ahead and take care of today, he sent me a picture of his yard, a top view from where he was just pulling to his driveway. And it said, wow, beautiful. So to hear that the client was satisfied with the fact that we were able to come up with a solution to take care of the mulch job made it all worth it. And this is a client that I had when he lived at at another neighborhood. He moved last year, and he stayed on with who the previous owner of the house that he's at now has for mowing. And he said that he missed the quality that we provided when it came to mowing, applications, leaf cleanups, all that. So to make a long story short, in that text message, he also said, send me a proposal for the year. And as long as it fits my budget, I'll be putting my 2 weeks in with the other company that's taking care of my grass and going with you for weekly mows, applications, leaf cleanups, aeration applications, you name it. So I say all that to say, make the best of any situation. Make the best of it. When times are rough, take a deep breath. And also know that you're not in this alone. There's plenty of us out here going through the same thing. But that is all I have here. Like I said, this is just a quick podcast. Just tell you to keep your head up. We all in this together. God is good all the time. I'm sorry the quality of the audio is off, but I'm not on my microphones right now. Yeah, but my nose is still stuffed up from blowing this pollen out the driveways all week. But what can you do? But y'all take it easy, be blessed, and enjoy your weekend. And please follow and review us. Please, if you give us a 5-star review, that would be great. Share the show. Peace.